Right, I've been training probably nearly 40 years now. It's a long time. Now, in those years, I would say that my training has predominantly been the lower set end of training. And what I mean by that is I've been more influenced towards more the heavy duty type of training most of my life, and I've thought that, with being a natural bodybuilder, that I needed to keep the sets pretty low for recovery. So I've been one of these what was trained on the heavy basics, the power at work and heavy deadlift and heavy squatting, heavy benching, keeping the reps probably between 6 and 8, and training really hard and really heavy and getting the job done per body part. Let's say for larger body parts, maybe between 6 and 9 sets per body part after warm-ups, and then between probably 3 and 6 for smaller body parts. Now, what I mean by smaller body parts, I mean is something like for your biceps, triceps, calves, things like that. Now, that has been the sort of mainstay of my training all my life, really. And as I've got older, I'm coming up to 53 now, I've found that the training 3 days a week and trying to do as I did in the past has really not been working. I found that the last few years I've regressed in muscle mass so much that it's been alarming to me. And I probably was 10 pound less muscle mass down than I was when I was 45. I used to carry, I'm not a big guy, I'm a natural for life bodybuilder, and I used to carry an average of about 160 pounds was my off-season lean look, and I generally keep lean all the time. Now, I started weighing the sort of 147s, 150s, at least 10 pound down than I used to be, and actually not quite as lean as I was when I was heavier. So I felt a little bit lost, if I'm honest. After years of competing and doing well in competitions, I felt like I was losing my youth, which obviously people do as they're getting a little bit older. And I tried to find different directions in training, a little bit of Olympic lifting, some powerlifting, and all I felt was that I was damaging myself. I was feeling even more and more broke down from training like I used to do, trying to do the heavy stuff, which just wasn't doing the trick. And I felt like it was all in my joints. I felt old, for want of a better word. I was really feeling it, starting to feel my age. Now, up until recently, I've been searching and trying to find something what is going to stimulate that muscle mass which I used to have, to try and gain back that youthfulness, that movement, that and I know you can't hold back age, but I want to be as strong and as healthy as I possibly can, and as muscular as I can, naturally, right into my older age, and train till my end of days. So here's what I did. Remember I said that I've been doing obviously the lower set end of training. Well, I thought to myself, right, I'm finding that the training what I used to do isn't doing anything. I'm obviously doing the same thing and expecting a different result. It wasn't actually working. So what I did was I started to add more sets to my exercises, my routines. I also found that instead of working a body part once per week, which I've pretty much done all my training life, I started to make sure body part gets worked probably twice a week, probably once every 4 days, something like that. So it might be twice in 8 days. And I found that the stimulus was actually making me grow again like I did when I was a young lad. I also found that if I did a lot more sets. Now, remember I said I was doing between 6 and 9 per body part. Now what I'm doing is an averaging probably 17 to 20 sets per body part. Now, you may think that that's going to be really pushing it on the recovery side, but believe it or not, I'm actually recovering better from doing more sets than I was when I was doing the lower sets and heavier sets. Now, I'm going to try and explain myself there. Now, if I was doing 6 sets for chest, for instance, the heavy benching and taking the sets to failure, and the heavy incline to things, and working really hard and heavy was putting more toll on my system, my internal system, than what I'm doing now. I'll explain what I did then, and I'll explain what I'm doing now. So imagine those workouts really hard, like they used to be when I was a kid. And you know, I'm straining, I'm working so hard, and I'm lifting so much weight for my size that it was absolutely depleting my system massively. I was feeling so fatigued, it was untrue. So by the time it comes round that I'm actually able to train that body part again, it's over a week, and by then I'm regressing. Muscle size is dropping because I cannot train as intensely as I did when I was a kid. You know, I'm striving to lift the weights I did when I was a kid, and it's not going to happen. You know, we age, and I am going to get weaker. It's just, you know, it's just nature. So I thought there's got to be a different way. So I was influenced by a few people. One is Doug Brignall. Look the guy up on Facebook and do buy his book, because I learnt a lot, and it made me think about my own training and think how I've come into this realm of training now. The other one is, and I always have been, he's been heavily influenced by Bill Pearl. Now Bill Pearl will probably be 87 now, and he's still training, 6 days a week, and he's still training at 80 something. Now look at the longevity there, that's what I'm wanting. Now, looking back through history, I've done a lot of research, looking back through the bodybuilders through the years, there's not many bodybuilders who did the hard, heavy training, actually still doing it, or even if they're still here. So, yeah, Bill Pearl was very strong in his day, but yet he uses moderate weights from probably his 50s right through. So here's the thing, I started doing less heavy stuff, and I started to use more moderate weight with a feel and a squeeze and a lot higher reps. The Doug Brignall came in on there on the higher reps. So I'm taking now, say a workout again for chest, probably about 15 to 17 sets there. And I may start, like dumbbell bench press, and I may be doing, 20, 15, 12, 8, 10, 6, and then drop down to 15 or 20 again. So there might be 5 or 6 sets there just for that exercise. But I'm starting lighter and working down, but by the time I get to 4, I'm not, 6, sorry, I'm not actually lifting a great deal of weight. But every rep is controlled and squeezed more than I've ever done before. And there's more feeling and finesse to training. I can liken it to, whereas before I would try and hit the muscle so hard, it's like hammering a nail into wood, whacking it 3 times. What I'm doing now is tapping it. I'm getting the job done, getting that nail into the wood, but I'm actually not damaging anything. I'm not damaging the nail head, I'm not damaging the wood, I'm not braying myself and feeling that power, that shock throughout the body. I'm tapping away. Now that actually has been much more of a need on my recovery. Instead of having a workout like I used to do a few years ago and back in the old days where it's like I'm fighting a bear, there's just so much stress there that I'm just working on anger. What I'm doing now is my eyes are closed, I'm concentrating so much on the movement, and there's a lot more finesse to the movements. I'm getting the job done, but with not as much internal stress as there used to be. So now I can work the muscle, and the muscles ache, and I'm getting a huge amount of volume done for my training, and actually feeling like it's making me grow, but yet I don't feel tired internally, I don't feel stressed. My joints feel good. I feel like I've got a lot of youth back, as well as gaining muscle at an alarming rate like I used to do when I was a kid. It's actually been shocking to me how much muscle I've grown. In probably the last 8 weeks I must have gained 7 pounds or so, and it's solid. It's solid muscle. I can feel my chest is growing. I can feel that my shoulders. You know when you put a t-shirt on, you're warm for a long time. It might be 6 months since you've had a t-shirt on. You put it on and it's actually tight around your arms, and you can actually feel the difference when you've got it on. Well, that's what it's been like for me. I feel like I'm regaining my youth. I feel like I'm, enjoying my training like I haven't done for a long while. I feel like I found direction again. When I felt lost, from probably 47 up to just a few months since, I was really feeling lost with, losing gains. And I really want to obviously still keep training for as long as I can. So to tie all that rambling up, Basically, I've found that it's much better if I'm doing a lot higher sets and reps, I'm working on a lot of raw reps, more moderate weight, and actually chiseling away at the muscle and chiseling away at the work. Now, when I say that, the sets and stuff I'm doing, I'm still doing the basic exercises. I'm still doing the dumbbell bench presses. I'm still squatting and everything else. But now there's a more constant tension to the movements. So I'm not using as much weight. I'm going for more feel and speed of the movement. So I hope that's been helpful to you. I will post some of the workouts we've been doing just to give you a little bit of an idea, so you can see, actual action, and we'll go from there. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Bye.